75th year, lining Freeport Boulevard with its broad cream columns, diverse student body, dynamic staff, and rich history. McClatchy is a staple to thousands of households in the Oak Park, Land Park, and Curtis Park communities. Having lived in all three of these areas throughout various parts of my life, McClatchy's shadowing presence has always been a significant part of me, and it is a great honor of mine to bring forward a resolution tonight honoring McClatchy's 75th year. I would now like to play a video put together by a McClatchy senior and SAC secretary who we saw earlier, Brittany Lee. Anne-Marie, when you get the chance.
Opening in 1937, McClatchy celebrates its 75th year anniversary as it continues to diversify and educate the community.
What do I love about McClatchy? I love the diversity, and I feel safe here. I feel like I'm at home.
My favorite part about McClatchy was the camaraderie and the school spirit that we had. When I was going to school here, it was a time when many other schools were having internal issues. McClatchy never had that.
Every day, McClatchy has well over 2,000 students of various ethnic backgrounds roaming its halls. This makes McClatchy one of the most diverse schools in the nation.
I feel very proud to be part of such a distinguished school that I can comfortably say, like, oh, I go to McClatchy, and go like, oh, I know that I went there when I was a kid. Like, it feels really good to be a part of a school that is well known as being a distinguished school for such a long amount of time.
Aside from its diversity, the school's togetherness and long traditions also contribute to its uniqueness.
I've been in other schools for brief times, and I think there's a good cooperative feeling at the school between the students amongst each other and between students and staff, but I don't see it at other schools.
So many graduates of McClatchy, and people come to McClatchy and they feel the connection with McClatchy and they always come back, and so there's a tradition and a history here. I feel like it's a tremendous privilege to be a principal during the 75th anniversary ceremony.
Here for the 60th anniversary and intend to be here for the 90th anniversary and hope to be the guest of honor at the 100th anniversary if I can wheel myself into the building.
Thank you, Anne-Marie, and thank you, Brittany, for putting that together for your senior project. I would now like to introduce McClatchy's principal, Mr. Peter Lambert, McClatchy Student Activities Director, Mr. Tim Douglas, and McClatchy Student Body President, Ms. Allison Yamamoto. And then they're going to come up here in the aisle. We're going to read the resolution.
Good evening, Board President Rodriguez, Superintendent Raymond, and members of the board. As we celebrate McClatchy's 75-year history and as we embark on 75 more years of rich tradition, it is truly a privilege to be the principal at McClatchy High School. But I'd also like to honor our tremendous staff who have helped us to create the tremendous tradition that we have at McClatchy High School. And representing our staff this evening, I'd like to welcome Mr. Tim Douglas.
Good evening, Superintendent, Board. On behalf of teachers past and present at McClatchy High School, I would like to thank you for this acknowledgement. Thank you.
Also, as we embark upon 75 more years of excellence, it's also a privilege to have leaders within our current student body that are exemplified by not only our current president of our student body, Allison Yamamoto, but also our past student body president, Mr. Isaac Cardone.
Thank you, Principal Lambert, for that nice introduction. It's such an honor to be student body president of CK McClatchy, a high school so diverse not only in its student body, but also in its academics, athletics, and activities. Over 75 years, we've had many successful alumni walk through our hallways, such as Congressman Robert Matsui, acclaimed author Joanne Didion, NFL wide receiver Malcolm Floyd, and musician Chino Moreno. Over these 75 years, we've had generations of families attend McClatchy, families that have traveled back to Sacramento to make sure that their children could get the best public high school education possible. I would like to thank the board for recognizing McClatchy's history and traditions with this resolution. On behalf of the students, I thank you for the hard work that you've done, ensuring that McClatchy will be here for another 75 years.
Thank you very much. In respect to time, I think I'm going to pass on reading the resolution, but it's in the board packet if anyone would like to read it.
Okay. I will, Vice President Wu.
I moved conference to action.
And do I have a second?
Excuse me, President Rodriguez, we have a public comment on this item.
Okay. We will take the comment after we go into action. Okay, so, and a second by Kim. Okay, so all in favor of moving from conference to action, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed and abstentions, the ayes have it. We are now in action, and we'll take the board. We'll take the public comment.
Yes, public comment from Darlene Anderson.
I'll just say that McClatchy has produced some of the most successful African-American students in Sacramento. And I know that because my ex-brother-in-law, Nat Colley, he graduated from McClatchy High School, and so did Stuart Burns, and he works for the Department of Justice in Texas. And so I know that at one time, African-American students were being successful, but I do have a concern about what's happened in the last 10 or 15 years. Thank you.
Member Kennedy?
I'll just be brief, but after putting 4 daughters through McClatchy, I'd have to completely disagree respectfully with Ms. Anderson in saying that, the progress that I've seen that school make over the last 10 years has been phenomenal, my time in high school was spent in Rancho Cordova. It's the only time I've spent any time in my life outside of Sacramento. Otherwise, I would have loved to have been a Lion and a proud one, but I think I am a surrogate as a parent of one who feels like I was there for 75 years putting my kids through it. So I want to commend the staff, the student body, the faculty for really putting forward an exemplary school for our district, something that makes our community proud, and I too look forward to the next 75 years. Thank you.
Student Board Member Gardone.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to express Board Member Bell regrets that she can't make it tonight, and she wanted to recognize Mr. Lambert for the incredible work he does, and she wishes that she could be a part of the passage of this resolution. And I'd also like to recognize Miss Julia Jonas, who used to teach at McClatchy, and we miss her dearly, and I'd like to thank her for coming tonight.
Vice President Wu.
I move the staff's recommendation to adopt the resolution.
Second.
We have a first by Vice President Wu and a second by Kennedy. All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Abstentions? The ayes have it. We have a resolution approved. Number 2695, the resolution recognizing C.K. McClatchy High School's 75th anniversary, and we'd like to present the resolution to Mr. Lambert. Thank you. Item 9.2, AB 1200, disclosure of cost of agreement with United Professional Educators, UPE, pursuant to Government Code Section 3547.5, and approval of tentative agreement with United Professional Educators, UPE. It is a conference action item, 5 minutes presentation, 5 minutes discussion. Mr. Jess Cerna, or actually somebody different.
I'm representing Jess.
Okay.
Good evening, Board President Rodriguez, Superintendent Raymond, and board members. I am Carol Mignoni-Stephen from Human Resources, and I'm here representing Jess Cerna, along with Greg Thomas, who's the principal of West Campus High School and also the president of the United Professional Educators, or UPE. So tonight we're bringing forward a tentative agreement for your approval. As you know, the district and UPE have been working well over a year on their contract. We did go to impasse and then went through fact-finding, and through fact-finding we were able to get a mediated agreement. That agreement is before you this evening, and the provisions of the agreement include, during the 11-12 fiscal year, UPE members will accept 2 furlough days. During 12-13 fiscal year, UPE members will accept 5 furlough days. And also during 12-13, either party may reopen negotiations regarding Article 8, which is compensation. And during 13-14, the district shall pay 75% of the cost of CalPERS Kaiser single coverage, including dental and vision, for each unit member who chooses to enroll. And during 13-14, either party may reopen negotiations regarding Article 8 compensation. This was mutually agreed to. UPE went back to their membership and asked for a vote, and they did ratify the tentative agreement. So I'd like to give Greg a minute.
I think it's important. I think Carol did mention over the last year we've been bargaining, but it's been more like 4 years. It's been a long time, and we do ask that the approval is something that you guys truly consider, because I think it will send a message to our administrators. The compensation, of course, we've been kind of going backwards a bit here with some costs that are impacting. So I think it will send a strong message, and it will start us moving in the right direction as far as retaining very, very qualified administrators and recruiting very qualified administrators also, in comparison to what maybe is offered in some other areas. So again, it's a partnership. We've worked long and hard. We understand that next year, this budget that we're dealing with, we weren't asking for anything, but we did give, and we do understand as a measure of our partnership with the district and to show our dedication to education here in Sacramento City Unified School District.
Okay, Vice President Wu.
And I appreciate the dedication of our principals as well. So with that, I'd like to move from conference to action. Please.
Second.
We have a first by Vice President Wu and a second by Member Terry to move from conference into action. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Aye. And abstentions. So the ayes have it. We are now in action.
Move the item.
Second.
So we have a first by Member Terry and a second by Vice President Wu. Mr. Gabros, do we have no public? Thank you. So all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And abstentions? The ayes have it. You now have a...
Thank you.
All right.
Item 9.3, 2011-12, second interim financial reports, conference action item, 15-minute presentation, 10-minute discussion. Ms. Patricia Hagemeyer.